But the San Antonio Spurs are going to win it all this year. The San Antonio Spurs is going to win the NBA championship this year. Not next year, not 2 years from now. They're going to win it this year. And I'm going to say this. I know I picked the San Antonio Spurs to win the championship, and I'm going to say right now that I was wrong. I was wrong. And I'm going to take all the heat that comes with it because they're not going to win this series. They're not going to win this series.
Okay, so I thought that Kendrick Perkins' first round predictions were bad. I even made a video and highlighted his terrible first round picks. I'll leave a link on the outro of this video if you want to check it out. But if you thought his first round analysis was bad, it's as if he made it his personal mission to make his second round predictions even worse somehow. So bad, in fact, that even Stephen A here, the king of terrible predictions, is baffled. So watch as Big Perk manages to get every take wrong throughout the entire Spurs Timberwolves series, to the point that his own colleagues are calling him out.
You've been all over the place.
No, you stayed with the Spurs, you backed down a little, now you're back on the Spurs.
No.
That's not consistent, Perk.
Huh?
That's not consistent.
What I said was,
I got no problem with you evaluating the series, but if every fucking game of the series, it's going to go back and forth.
Kendrick Perkins is so inconsistent it's comical. Check out these clips how quick he switches his analysis from game to game.
but I look at the perimeter play that doesn't get enough recognition on both sides of the floor. They have a bunch of two-way dogs, big guards, big wings, duplicating what OKC have to what they and what they done to win the championship. And that one dog in particular is Stephon Castle. What I saw him do against Kay Cunningham 2 games ago in Detroit, Kay Cunningham had the worst game of the season, 5 for 26 from the field. Here's what it's going to come down to. And this is why I'm jumping off the porch right now. Y'all can give me all the heat that y'all want. But the guards of the San Antonio Spurs, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, they are going to struggle tremendously in this series because these guys, the wings and the guard play and the defenders that the Minnesota Timberwolves have, especially Jaden McDaniels, they're not backing down. I know when a team has that it factor. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they got that it factor. They want all the smoke. I don't care if it's chimney smoke, cigarette smoke, or barbecue smoke. They are running to it. They're playing with a certain type of edge. They're playing with a certain type of tenacity. They have a certain level, a certain type of spirit that's going on through that locker room. And that damn Jaden McDaniels. We have a lot of great and good wing defenders around the league, but he is the best wing defender in the game. The San Antonio Spurs will win the NBA championship this year.
Perk, I'm not going to get on you because, to be honest with you, you've been wrong before, so it's no big deal. You know, we ain't going to get on you before that you jumping off the bandwagon now. It ain't nothing new.
I don't have a problem jumping off the porch and admitting when I'm wrong. Predictions in a series is just like gambling. We don't know what to expect in a playoff series. Oh, I picked the Spurs to win. Who gives a fuck? But the San Antonio Spurs are going to win it all this year. What I said was, I see something in the Minnesota Timberwolves that drove me to jumping off the porch and pick them to win this series. I see a certain type of spirit, edge, tenacity.
Perk, I'm okay with you flipping, but to be like, all of a sudden, it's not like they got blown out. But to switch it so quick, bro, that's what I'm saying. Never be around people that can switch up that quick. I got no problem with you evaluating the series. But if every fucking game of the series, it's going to go back and forth from must win to they're going to get swept.
And I'm telling you right now, if the San Antonio Spurs don't get game 2, it is a must-win situation, they're going to get swept.
So they were winning the championship till Champagne missed that shot. Now they're going to get swept.
Perk, How do you see this series with Minnesota now? It tied up 1-1 with the Spurs. It goes up to Minneapolis. Who has the edge?
The Timberwolves have the edge. Last time I checked, they got home court advantage. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are fantastic at home. They have developed an atmosphere over the past 2 to 3 seasons in that arena where it's a tough place to play in. They're undefeated at the crib this year, by the way. No one brought up what it feels like in role players playing better at home. I said this a few days ago. San Antonio was in a must-win situation. But if I'm Minnesota, I got on that plane last night real comfortable and cool.
Well, I'm not going to go that far.
I am.
Big Perk, San Antonio Spurs are going to win the chip.
Oh, good.
Then he goes from that to, if they lose game 2, they going to get swept. Then he goes from that to saying, look, right now, Minnesota has got the edge. Perk is all over the damn place, but he talking about us, and you disappointed in us. We disappointed in you, young big bro. We disappointed in you.
It's Wemby's world, and everyone's trying to get an apartment in it. That's where we at this point. The league belongs to him. That was the statement that he sent last night. It wasn't just to the Minnesota Timberwolves. That statement was sent to the rest of the league. I know OKC watching, rooting for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I guarantee you that, because they don't want to face that smoke.
Spurs looking to close it out. What must the Wolves do to force a Game 7?
Well, number one, they got to bring a level of physicality, right?
Minnesota did make me nervous in that regard. So I'm really anxious to see what happens in game 2. That's all I'm saying.
That ain't nothing about that game made me nervous if you're Minnesota. And play with some passion and sense of urgency. I know when a team has that it factor. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they got that it factor. They're playing with a certain type of edge. They're playing with a certain type of tenacity. They got to bring a level of physicality, right? And play with some passion and sense of urgency. And I'm watching this Minnesota team come up there with a certain level of confidence. I listened to Terrence Shannon talked about how, Wemby could block all the shots all he want. He going to have to continue to block them because we're going to keep attacking the basket. Anthony Edwards need help. At some point, Julius Randle has to help a brother out. I believe he will feed off the energy of the crowd, and he will do his best and put on a great performance and help push a Game 7.
Kendrick Perkins, kind enough to kick it with us here on SportsCenter. Perk, let's get into these Game 6s that we have on Friday. Pistons and T-Wolves fighting for their lives, backs against the wall. Who's better equipped to scrap their way out and force a Game 7?
Well, I got to listen, that Cavs series is over. I'm leaning more towards Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is going to get his lick back at home. I expect Julius Randle to be the X factor at the crib and Minnesota get Game 6 heading back to San Antonio for Game 7. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are fantastic at home.
So at least there is one thing Kendrick Perkins is consistent on. Not only is he wrong with his Western Conference picks, he's also wrong on his Eastern Conference picks.
Bro, you said that the Pistons series is over. What's the problem with Detroit then? We're talking about a #1 seed over the course of the regular season.
From my experience of playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, especially in the postseason, that arena is going to be rocking. And I just don't see the Detroit Pistons walking into that environment with a Cleveland Cavaliers team who's playing with a lot of confidence. And we're looking at that dynamic backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, who has found their groove offensively, getting the win. And Cleveland is going to close that one out. Yeah.